Hello everyone, welcome back to our Income School Project 24 review series by Real Review Hub. In this video, we're going to go over our month 6 update of our Project 24 sites. We're going to give you we're going to compare how the sites are performing in terms of traffic and income compared to the Project 24 timelines, as well as covering an update on our control website. We're going to show you analytics, tell you what we actually achieved towards our Project 24 goals in month 6, and a whole lot more. So stick through, watch all the way to the end, and hopefully you guys will get a lot out of this. So let's get right into it. So, first and foremost, we want to thank everyone that's watched these videos. We've gotten a lot of great comments and questions coming out of these Project 24 review videos, and it really makes us want to continue the series, which we're committed to doing for you guys. And we never expected it to get so many people actually following it. And I think some of you guys have even decided to join Project 24 after watching our videos. So, best of luck to all of you. Thank you to anyone who used our affiliate link. Much appreciated. We wanted to give you like a global shout out. So, let's get straight to it, right? So the project, we're going to cover our Project 24 timelines first. So again, guys, what we want to do is, for those of you that are looking to Project 24, we wanted to always compare our results to what was actually expected and mapped out by Jim and Ricky in Project 24. So this is month 6. So as you can see here, okay, month 6, we should be pretty much completing site number 2, okay, is in terms of the progress we should have made. Site 1 should have been completed in the first 60 steps of site 1, months 1 through 3, and then site 2 should be finishing up here, what they call phase 2. Here you can see the actual layout, which is nice. They give you a layout month by month in terms of traffic expectations and earnings. So in month 6, you can see here they expect most people to make their first, what they call pizza day, $5 earnings from site number 1, which at this point should be making about 200 or getting 200 page views per month. And then site 2, they don't expect any income, and they expect a trickle of traffic, about 55 page views at this point. If you complete the steps the way they say it, as quickly as they say it, that's where you should be. So hopefully that gives everybody an idea, because we've got some questions about like, well, what are the expectations? So we want to make sure we map that out. So let's look at a recap of progress through month 5, right? For those of you guys that didn't watch the videos month 1 through 5, we suggest you go back and review those if you want to. You'll get a lot more detail. But in month 5, what we had done in month 5, we had a total of 3 sites started. So we have 2 Project 24 sites started. And then last month we started a control site, which was not following the Project 24 60 steps. We thought that would be a good way to compare. Quick recap. Site number 1 was started on July 4th, 2018. It is in the, give you a broad arts and entertainment niche. July 4th is when it was started. 30 articles were completed in about 3.5 months. So about mid-October 2018 was when the first 30 articles were completed. So a little bit behind their 3-month timeline there. In month 5, this is what the traffic looked like. Okay, we had 4,213 page views during this time period between November 4th and December 4th. On-page time of 4 minutes and 51 seconds, and a bounce rate 86.59, nothing special. And the site had made $3.80. So as you can see, we were far ahead of the expectations when it came to traffic for site 1. So let's look at site 1 month 6 update. So month 6 update, and guys, today is January 4th. It's only halfway through the day, so that's why this is down right here, just to give you a caveat. But we're actually on pace, it looks like, to have probably our biggest day. But in month 6 of this site being up, and again, it was completed in the middle of October with the 30 articles, so they haven't really had a full time to rank yet. Jim and Rinky lay out about 35 weeks, 6 to 9 months on a new site to get fully have your articles ranked from the time the articles are completed. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the data. You can see here we had 5,095 page views, an on-page time of performance 24 seconds. Bounce rate again, still right around 87%. Okay. So, but again, another uptick in traffic, guys. And I think it looks like the last few days or weeks or so, it seems like we're starting to hit another little plateau where we're breaking that 200 mark consistently. And if we can continue that, if today shoots up with the rest of the day and hits about 200, hopefully we'll be hitting a new plateau and we'll be hitting at least 6,000 plus next month. So traffic doing really well. Really still excited about this. I put in an idea here from the beginning, from, you can see here, July 4th through today, January 4th, right? We have just under 12,000 page views. This is 99% organic, guys. This site has not really had much Pinterest or YouTube videos put in there. In fact, we probably dropped the ball there. We'll talk about that more compared to how Rick and Jimmy lay it out. But you can see some pretty solid stats. Excited about it. And here's this number here, guys. So this month, the site actually made $72.50, which is pretty awesome. Nothing, huge. But again, compared to the first $5 that we laid out in the earlier site, we are ahead there, right? We're ahead of the traffic and we made a little bit of money, right? $72.50, which is pretty awesome. Now, what we'll say here is this was an affiliate link outside of Amazon, so a different program. The sale commission was really it was one sale, it was $22.50, which would be the typical commission here. There was a $50 one-time bonus I think they were having for the end of the year, so keep that in mind. It was one sale, is how we made it. So really, if that bonus wasn't there, it probably would have been $20.50. Just again, we always want to make sure we're sharing the full picture, but really kind of good signs again. So very excited about how Site 1 is progressing. And when you keep in mind that we haven't really built out the YouTube channel the way they say, we haven't done the Pinterest, this is all pretty much from Google, and we're a little bit behind in getting back to adding more content here. So these are all different things that if you were doing it, you could probably get better results in this, because those are some gaps that we'll go over later. So site number 2. So if we recap where we were with site number 2 through month 5, this site was put on an older domain, okay, guys, that had a bunch of local pages on it with hardly any content, okay? No real articles, nothing on there, but it was about a year old. Didn't have any link building to it, right? But it was still an age domain, so a lot of people ask, well, like, okay, well, how's it going to work on it if we have an older site? So that's why we made this our second site. This is in the services niche, okay? So as much info as that really gives you, but it's not a whole lot, but it's in the services niche. In month 5, we had up through December 7th, from October 18th to December 7th, so more than a month, it was 569 page views, okay? So let's see what we did in month 6. In month 6, we talked about this a little bit at the end of month 5. We wanted to look into outsourcing. So between the holidays, guys, end of the year work, that really kind of finishing out the year, travel that I need to do, I was not going to have a whole lot of time to write content. And I was falling further and further behind what the outline is, because remember, at the end of 6 months, you should be pretty much done with your 2 full sites, so 30 articles on each, plus the YouTube videos. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these results. Just know if you're able to complete the steps with what they lay out, you could maybe expect a little bit quicker results than what we're showing. So what did we do? Well, I went on, decided to hire an actual writer. So what did we accomplish? I accomplished going through Upwork, creating the ad, recruiting, hiring, and training a writer. With the holidays, again, Christmas and January, I was able to get one hired and trained. I'm going to go into that in another video, so stay tuned for that. But the writer was able to complete 3 articles after being trained and posted the first 3 within the last 7 days. So not much more content, because remember, this site only had 12 articles on it. so far. So with these 3, that brings up to 15 articles. But I am hoping with this writer, expecting to get 2 to 4 articles a week with them, we'll be able to get this site content going up. So let's look at the results. So site number 2, you can see here the first screen is showing October 18th through January 4th. So from when it's started, we have 1,371 page views, an on page of 358. And you can see here just for December 1st to January 4th, so you guys can see more of like a 30-day snapshot since that's what we were doing with site 1. 854 page views. This site has actually started to really pick up. And again, this is middle of January 4th now. So that's why this is down here, but I'm expecting it'll end up right around even with the last few days. And it's breaking about 40 page views per day already, guys. So that's huge, okay? This is another example that the content mix that they teach you within Project 24 and the post recipe they teach you within Project 24, I mean, there's something to it. Google's liking it, right? So, and actually via Amazon, we put up some links. We had 10 whole clicks because, again, not a whole lot of traffic. 1 ordered item, holiday season, maybe that's why. But we made $2.47. Okay, so site 2 is on the board with some money. So hopefully, guys, again, very encouraging signs from the traffic, from the content we're putting up here. And, who knows? Maybe this is only month number 2 for this site, so maybe this site will start to outperform traffic of site 1. That would be really cool. So let's see how that goes. And then site number 3. So remember, guys, this was the non-Project 24, meaning we're not following the 60 steps. This is more product-based, which is not what Jim and Ricky teach. We started it November 5th, okay, as a kind of a control. And also because I explained the second site I picked was something that I was getting kind of burnt out writing about. So I think I just needed a distraction. I would not recommend doing that. Definitely, they recommend, and I would agree with them, just focus on hammering out content on, 1 site or 2 sites and don't get spread too thin. But regardless, site 3 was up. And if you remember, it had gotten a decent amount of page views, or what looked like page views. And when I say what looked like page views, in the first month it was up, is you'll know what I mean in a second when I tell you what happened to this site. But 404 page views is what it had. In that first little snippet, basically a month that was up. And when I had seen it, I said, wow, this site's doing better than, the other Project 24 site. So maybe, and again, I'm using the principles to write the articles, but that's about the only thing that's being followed in this site. So the content mix and what I'm trying to accomplish with the content is similar. So this is what happened in site number 3, though. The site was actually hacked. I don't know how, don't know why it happened. I caught it, or, it was penalized by Google, right? It had a manual penalization. You can see here's basically where Google shut it down, right? And I basically have spent, and this is another reason why there wasn't a lot more content written on sites number 2 either, spent the better part of the last 2.5-3 weeks working with the hosting company, hiring a security company to actually clean up the malware and get it back up, which costs about $200 for the year. So that kind of stinks. But got it all fixed. As of 48 hours ago, knock on wood, it's back up. So we requested a manual add back on by Google to see if they'll unpenalize it. I don't know. I've never gone through this before, but I figured this will at least be interesting in that sense for you guys to follow along. But that's, you can see here, we haven't had any more traffic because it basically went off a cliff. It was being spammed out by some malware attack. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Hopefully it can be recovered, but we shall see. So misses, where could you personally do better? Because I think that is most important, right? Because you guys want to see if this is working, but ultimately you probably want to see, hey, can I do this? So I think there's a few areas that you guys can most likely outperform what I've done so far with this. So first and foremost, be more consistent with the content. I feel like I started off really, really well with site one, publishing the content, trying to be a little ahead of the game, and then travel started, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I'm listening to myself, and it's nothing more than excuses. But I have not finished the full 60 steps, right, in the 6 months. And you know what? It's like, okay, it's just gonna bump your timeline backward, right? But if the goal is to replace or double your income with these sites in 24 months, you really want to try to be consistent with the content. So that's one area where you can definitely do better than I have, especially when it comes to that second site. So keep that in mind. 2, follow the steps more closely when it comes to YouTube and Pinterest. I mean, I see the feedback we're getting, just people watching these YouTube videos, and it makes me realize Jim and Ricky are 100% right. If you build out these sites and you build out a YouTube channel, you're going to drive more traffic to your site, which is going to help you make send better signals to Google. It's going to help you get more traffic, probably get better commissions. So definitely follow those steps closer with your sites than we have. And then, don't get distracted with shiny object syndrome and start an extra site or do an extra kind of meta review video series that takes up time. Just stay focused, and I think that will definitely help you guys with your results. So conclusions, guys, what's next? I'm actually going to be putting out a couple of videos, going deeper look at a few questions that people had. I'm going to go through the training module of how to hire writers that Jim and Ricky include in Project 24, and let you know a little bit more on how that went and how we hired the first writer. We're going to be putting out some other content around Project 24, around questions people have, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel, guys, if you want to get updates. Hit the bell so you can know when we put out our next videos here. Like it if you like it. And again, there's affiliate links below. If you decide to sign up for Project 24 and use our link, it's much appreciated. Thank you to those who have already done so. If you decide you want to join Project 24 and don't want us to get a commission, that's fine too. I still hope this video was helpful. Just Google it, go directly to the site. Still recommend it. I think there's something here 6 months in, and I wish you nothing but the best with your Project 24 sites. So all the best, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.